Welcome back, Arlington. It's Clutch. I'm next to Dave Walsh himself. And Dave, it's Saturday, it's getting late in the afternoon, and that's when the elimination bracket starts. Teams are going to get sent home a lot earlier than what they had hoped for. And we have a banger of a series on our hands. Cloud9 versus Foe, the #1 team in Europe, doing their job at this point as far as coming in as the #1 seed, getting second in their pool. They got 3-0'd by FaZe in the winners bracket, but they have probably the bracket that they would want, trying to get into the top 8, which are probably their expectations for this tournament. Do you think this Foe team has looked well enough to get into that top 8 in this series?
They have looked strong. Now, I don't think that they're a guaranteed advance here. I do favor Foe in this matchup. However, like you said, I haven't seen enough throughout this weekend from them to say that they're the clear winner in this series.
And as we load into game 1, it's been a completely different road path for Cloud9, coming all the way through the open bracket, taking down Sentinels this morning.
We were hyping up Sentinels, and for good reason. They've shown up so well throughout all the qualifiers. They were a clear third best team after those open qualifiers, and every single team in pools was able to catch them and take them down yesterday and today.
All right, on board with Sceptify. Early kills getting traded out. It looks like Cloud9 had a momentary advantage, but a 2-on-2 situation. Camo gonna be spawning a little late, so these kills are so important. Cloud9 opting to try and get that ball in the house, but it does look like Foe are set up for this camouflage.
Yeah, Diagram getting that big pick onto Jimbo. And like you said, they got the camo, they got the ball rotated over. Well, you know, even though that ball has traversed so far, they are now just getting their first seconds. See how much they prioritize rotating the ball versus scrapping them a few seconds on the way over?
Perfect start. Camo, snipe in the hands of Tusk. You got ball in hand as well, starting to build a lead here in round 1, but the enemy forces have pushed through house. Tusk needs to realize this and help his ball carrier.
And this could be a scary time. Bringing that ball all the way over towards the window in Garage is a double-edged sword. It can be a very powerful place to guard and hold, but once you lose that setup, the opposing team has it. You can't play ball from there.
Tusk picks up that kill. All 4 go down for Foe. The lead continuing to build. The slays continuing to grow. The differential for Cloud9 is massive right now. They are dominating the early game.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen this ball rotate further. It looks like it got over towards Keydor, but it has been stopped. The push coming in from Foe. Can they stop it one more time? And these last couple battles are going to decide everything. It decides the next coming spawns, decides who can get 15 seconds of time, and it looks like Foe come out ahead in that engagement.
It was looking ugly for a second, and another round of slays. This round could have been pretty much over, but Cloud9 only get 27 points with the entire power curve and the amount of slay differential that they had. You will take that if you're Foe. Let's see now what Foe can do with the setup. WuTum doing WuTum things, snapping onto players left, right, and that ball should be back in their hand.
And look at this difference between how Foe has the ball versus Cloud9. Foe, once they had their set, they decided, where are we going to push this next? They cleared out green, they brought the ball over towards green, so now when they lose control, they can hit a play ball there, and now it's a tie game, ball on even territory.
And you will take that if you're Foe every day of the week with how this game started out. Second camouflage coming up here shortly. Let's see who's got the best position for it.
Taking a quick look at the kills across the board. We have 13 kills total for Foe, with 8 in the hands of WuTum. We had some questions yesterday. Was he looking a little shaky? Was he not playing up to his fullest potential? Well, right here, when his team needs the most, he is putting those numbers up on the board.
Especially for a Foe team that has been noted by the devs to start slow. 1 and 3 is not how you can start your game 1s, especially when you enter the elimination bracket. Every game is going to count. So they've done a good job to rebound here. Diagram under a lot of pressure in the house. Got a teammate with him, but here comes Foe.
Yeah, however, despite WuTum playing very well, we're seeing an even game. Generally, if I'm playing on a team and I feel like I'm going off or one of my teams is going off, I want to see a massive increase in the score in our favor, not just keeping pace with Cloud9.
So far, great starts from Tusk and Diagram over on the side of Cloud9. Diagram, one of the triplets. You know, Suppressed over on Shopify Rebellion. This is his trip brother, one of his trip brothers. I guess is that the term? Either way, a very talented player of his own. Sceptify, a player that has been very impressive for Cloud9. Now with snipe in hand, spots the player top middle, knocks him to no shield. Can't quite finish a kill, can't hit the shot under the ball carrier. Narrow misses like that can cost you rounds.
Is that true? Triplet?
triplets.
That is incredible.
Avon is the third if you want to.
I can only imagine how incredible or also how difficult that would be a team with if all were on the same squad. You're like, hey guys, things aren't going well. Who are we maybe getting rid of? And all of a sudden,
if we have to fill, I got some stories for you. But back to focus on round one. The body shot from Sceptify is good. That's going to give him numbers advantage. The second makes it easy for Sep. A player that's been making a name for himself since Halo 5. This could be the best team he's ever been on, and an opportunity to get inside the top 8 with this series. TchiK's going to be rotating the ball around back tower. Does get knocked to no shield, but once again, another foe player escapes with his life, and that's rewarded with ball time.
Such a brilliant play there by TchiK. It's sometimes do or die in that situation. Do you fight it out? And instead, he got 10 seconds of time, has control of back tower, and has drawn all these members of Cloud9 out into disarray. Not sure if they have to take over tower, and here comes the push towards tower, but kills being scooped up left and right here for foe.
2 go down for foe now. Cloud9 able to trade it out efficiently. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Camo coming up here in a little bit. Rammyy getting the kill towards the ball now. Spots TchiK. A lot of information Rammy's getting for his team, but that ball getting grenaded out into the open is going to make this difficult. You got to slay.
And look at what Rammyy does. Rather than just trying to desperately grab that ball and bring it towards Keydor, he takes up more ground and more space, staying true to his name, charging right in towards scoreboard, and just taking up that extra space to give his teammates space to play around.
Camouflage gets burned for the second time in a row, but with that, Cloud9 pick up the kills. They get the ball in hand. They look to tie this up.
Let's see, where does Rammyy decide to take this? He knows the push is coming down through tunnels. Decides to just charge in against WuTum. Luckily gets that kill. Sometimes you can be baited into a trap there as the other teams are pushing over from Garage or Keydor.
I love this rotation by Rammyy. He's taking it to green. The information's good. Teammates are respawning there. He can't turn the corner, though, and that is one of those moments where you could have racked up some significant time if you're able to drop down in that hole. Cloud9 do pick up that ball. It's a play ball from Cloud9. Beautiful job by that last player at green from Cloud9, but Jimbo is on the respawn to pick this up. It's denied by Sceptify with the double, and that's the importance of playing the ball.
Oh, triple kill by Sceptify. They had the kills on the board. They were there for the ball. And Sceptify takes down all 4 for the overkill.
An overkill here for Sceptify in round 1. And he's been having a great tournament so far for Cloud9. You're seeing the reason why he is on fire right now. Those 4 kills give you a complete setup. 2 spawn towards green. 1 does make it to pillars, but a trade in that situation is disgusting.
Yes, Sceptify so far has had a 1.32 KD and 11.3 assists for every 10 minutes. This has been the second highest in the HCS, so he's been getting active, getting a lot of fights, and it's no surprise we've watched his screen and seen him secure kills like that, especially when it's not like his whole team is right there. It's not like just a bunch of cleanups.
Still a 12-point lead for Cloud9. The slay differential right now, 52-39. Cloud9 are starting to outslay foe, but maybe not resulting in too much ball time. That overkill sure helps from Sceptify, but now ball in the hand of Tusk. Foe will have 1 push here to successfully break this to keep round 1 alive.
This is such an interesting spot to be in. Seeing how much time is left, it's do you scrap up this time and clear up to 100? Do you just drop the ball and slay? And it looks like they don't have much of a choice. All 4 members of Cloud9 go down. They play ball, but foe able to grab that ball and rotate it back.
I said foe had 1 chance to break this setup. They break the setup. They get the ball played. They get the ball in hand. Now Cloud9 in a very similar situation. If you do not break this setup, the clock will run out. After foe get the lead, they will play time.
Look at this. Mighty realizing he needs to get damage. He also needs to get time. When does he decide to play ball? And it's played
they're down
a little bit early. They still do not have the extra second. And you know, all eyes are going to be on the tunnel. Sceptify coming from pillar side. Someone over at dummy doors. And everyone's going to congregate in the bottom middle for this last little fiasco. 77 apiece. Ball gets picked up by Diagram. Does he get that last second? Yes, he does. 78 guards the ball. And a nail biter there for round 1. 1 point difference there between Cloud9 and foe, despite a 12-kill difference in Cloud9's favor.
What a chaotic ending to that first round. Everyone get your rear, bottom, middle. It's going to be a brawl, and Cloud9 end up taking control of that ball in the last second to gain the lead. Now we kick off round 2, and we're on board with WuTum.
It was just so funny seeing those last few seconds, just knowing every single person can go down there.
No matter where you spawn, get down.
No matter what, it's going to be, all right, key door, you can come through tunnel, you can go through dummy door, pillar door. One of those 4 spots, everyone's congregating around.
Everyone throw your nades and pray is what's going on. Cloud9 Their prayers were answered. They win round 1, and they have started off round 2 with another lead. Snipe and ball in the hands of Diagram. You want to trade this out, but Camo also in control of Cloud9.
This seems similar to last time. Cloud9 gets the snipe, Cloud9 gets the camo, Cloud9 brings the ball over towards the garage window.
Tusk.
Now we're gonna see them potentially get the kills and rotate it out, or are they gonna just hold this setup like they did last time?
Tusk maybe not too much success with camo snipe the first round. Let's see what he can do. Finds the first kill. A lot of pressure on your ball carrier. A good body shot to potentially allow Sceptify an opportunity to jump into that window, pick up the kill. That's exactly what happens. Cloud9 setup stays strong with this camo snipe.
Stays strong, but I would love to see them get the kills, rotate it out. You kind of have two options here. One, do you clear out garage, clear out green, and rotate towards that side? Or two, once you realize they're all spawning green, I guess if you're gonna kill them like that, you can do whatever you want. But once they're all spawning green, you do have the opportunity to push it through towards scoreboard / silo and bring it up towards tower. But it feels like Cloud9 opt to just continue to hold this window, and I wonder if it's gonna play out well for them. So far, it is.
Big Dog Tusk having himself a game. 21, 11, and 9. He's had a lot of power-ups and power weapons to do it with, but that shows you that he is focused on controlling those power-ups and power weapons, and he is doing work with it. It's a 35-3-point lead. Both have their first setup of round 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great starting hold there by Cloud9. Anytime if you can get 30+ points, you start to get the mindset that, all right, there's a little bit of scrapping of time here and there. They just only need one or so more setups with all those neutral game periods. The only downside that I'm seeing there from Cloud9 strategy is they give up the ball in the garage where foe have an opportunity to match the setup.
39-10 right now. Ball out by green, so you can guarantee the ball is going to be played. Likely guarantee, I should say. Speaking from example, camouflage is coming up. Something that foe has not had an opportunity yet is an actual camo play. Every time they've gotten it, it's been burned almost immediately. Mighty's trying to get away with his life. A beautiful repulse to top mid keeps him alive, but I do believe Cloud9 were in position to pick up that camo.
They're able to pick up this camo, but this whole entire time, nobody's close enough towards green. The difficulty about this green setup here that's going to be happening here for Cloud9 is not only do they have to get the kills, they have to bring a significant amount of people over towards the back of green in order to secure that area and force them to play ball in.
Similar to the situation on recharge when the ball is back blue, you got to go all the way back across the map to get the ball.
Over there, then you gotta come back, and pretty much the opposing team are gonna have more favorable spawns and just pulled so much time and resources. So just from that one setup alone from foe, we're back to a near even game.
Right, you could see Cloud9's prioritization on the camouflage, but in the meantime, that ball time was important. In the meantime, Diagram hits the no-scope for the double. It lands a body shot that he can't quite clean up. A beautiful grenade by Jimbo there. Rammyy is the last player alive for Cloud9. He's in position to grab the ball, play the ball, hit some good shots, but one, not enough. As Jimbo's able to get a couple of kills to break that Cloud9 setup, keeping this round manageable.
Yep, sniped in the hands of Jimbo. Let's see what he can do with this power weapon. Gets the body shot on Diagram, but not going to be enough. WuTum's going to come in, get that finish. WuTum starting off strong so far in this game, but so active. 24 kills, 24 deaths. Most, we call that an active player.
Yeah, right now it's Jimbo and Mighty's in the KD ratio that really need to figure it out so far here in round 2. If they want foe to erase the story that they start series off a little slow. Cloud9, however, everybody breaking the 20 kill mark. Everybody has some ball time, well spread out, well played by the entire team as a cohesive unit, and that is the difference so far here for me in game 1. Round 2 still, just 10 points separate the two. The ball being rotated out by scoreboard, but Rammyy shuts that rotation down himself.
Yeah, and ball is exactly where Cloud9 would like it, in the garage, but it looks like they opt to now take over towards tower. I really like this play. When you have an option to bring a ball towards a location where you could potentially play ball in, I love having that option in your back pocket. It looks like they're kind of sitting here in the center towards Plasma's cuts and deciding where the pressure's coming in. Putting the ball inside foe's court to charge and push where they want, but there it is. Very successful push from foe. They get the kill, and once again, get the ball immediately from Cloud9. Out of majority of Cloud9 setups, we're not seeing a play ball scenario.
Very difficult to hold that unorthodox cut setup. Foe are able to break it now. Can foe hold a setup is the big question. Continuously playing from behind is not a way to live your life here in this game.
Yeah, one thing I also like about that, the ball over towards Plasmas is I feel like you have to fake towards one way or the other. You can't just stay static in that spot. It's not a very strong position to hold. However, if you have your ball carrier start to run over towards tower and then just double back towards scoreboard or the reverse of that, in some way trying to fake out the spawning team so that they overcommit towards one of the directions and then you get a more successful ball rotation.
Cloud9 get the kills, they get the ball back in hand. 3 go down for foe, and they're gonna try and rotate this out towards this camo. There's one player to deal with, he's dealt with very quickly. 3 members of Cloud9 focus on WuTum there. WuTum shortly lived. This ball getting rotated to House could end this game.
A similar setup again. Cloud9 just holding us some plasmas. Now they're rotating it towards the scoreboard, but this is not gonna be good unless they get the kills. There's 3 down, Sceptify, the last one alive. And you can only expect so much out of a single player. So we're gonna see what he does here. Looks like Sceptify takes down 1 and is now a thorn in the side of foe. They cannot comfortably hold this setup until Sceptify is dealt with.
Get your kill, stay alive, Sceptify. That's exactly how he's playing it. Perfectly done by him. To get that kill in a 1v4 situation is massive because it makes the setup of foe so weak. Sceptify continuing to stay alive bottom middle. The reinforcements now for Cloud9 are here. They have ball in hand and need 8 points to win.
This could have been a complete different last 15 seconds if Sceptify didn't play it the way he did. Scrapped those last couple points. Tusk somehow gonna scrap those out and secure a 2-0 ball victory here in game number 1.
Okay, Bo, you started off slow in pool play. You made it this far. That could be the crux that sends you home if you continue to play. Game 2 is a must-win in my opinion, but Cloud9 in this game 1 looks so clean. It was done by everyone, and as we take a look at the stats, Dave, 26, 26, 26, 24 for everyone involved. That is the definition of consistency from the entire squad.
Yeah, everyone pulling their exact weight. The only really outstanding stat in there outside of those teams is Tusk's deaths and assists.
The big dog himself.
Not dying nearly as much, kind of in cleanup duty, cleanup crew, and doing it right. You know what? At the end of the day, if someone doesn't have low deaths, they better be a part of all the fights in my eyes. And seems like Tusk was there when he was needed.
When you get the camos and you get the snipes, you're likely to have more opportunity. With that opportunity, Tusk was able to pop off, and I am a big Tusk fan, have been since the MCC days. I loved playing A's with him. I said this player's communication, his teamwork, the way he plays the game is correct. He has not been able to really play at his peak at a tournament. Maybe this is the event that Tusk is able to perform at his peak, and if he does, he gives this Cloud9 roster everything they need to break into the top 8. On the other side, foe, not exactly what you wanted to see as a European fan, representing the 1 seed of ambitions of top 8 here, of course, for this squad. And Cloud9's got to be the team that you probably wanted to see for that top 8 spot. But now that you dropped game 1, Dave, where's your head?
I mean, your head is always, all right, let's bring it back game number 2. Let's tie up this series. It's not as snowbally as the previous years of Halo. Early on, you were able to just have somebody make 1 game mistake and then just roll through the rest of that series. These people have stronger mental games, undoubtedly. But at the same time, it's never a comfortable spot, especially as you're waiting between these games. All you have sticking in your head is saying, all right, well, we better start strong here. We got to win this game number 2. We do not want to put ourselves in a reverse sweep situation.
And neither team has played streets up until this point. Slayer's the name of the game. It's first to 50 kills. You at least get to erase the dynamic of an oddball juggling across cuts, going back and forth, making it difficult for you to weigh your options. A much simplified game type, right? Kill the enemy player 50 times and you can win, or at least more than they kill you in the time allowed. So hopefully that simplification makes it easier for foe to kind of just get into their flow, get into their groove, because I want this series to go the distance. I think this series has the potential to go the distance, but as foe is done in pool play, they're going to need to wake up now that game 1 is over.
Yeah, they have no choice but to wake up right here, right now, and tie up this series. Like you said, it's a simplification here. Sure, you have to focus on power-ups and these weapons coming across the map, but it's not quite the same as having to worry about all those weapons, plus the objective, and having that exact same sort of time pressure on you. The only pressure that's being put on here is how fast or how slow yours or the opposing team is playing.
And as we take a look at the graphic on screen, it's the young gun himself, the mouse and keyboard phenom, looking to break Halo history as the first mouse and keyboard player ever to get top 8. He's gonna need 3 wins in this series in order to get there. And that is a hell of a KD ratio for a mouse and keyboard player at his age.
And keep in mind, this is just Slayer stats. So when we go to WuTum's perspective, keep in mind, pretty much every single minute, he's getting approximately 2 kills every minute. That's not taking into account all the times where he's potentially in the respawn screen or the game slowed down to a halt. He is an active player, so I'm excited to see how fast he can play this because, let's be real, this has got to be the fastest Slayer map once things get going or in neutral scenarios. This or Aquarius.
As a big mouse and keyboard player myself, I do believe that mouse and keyboard is the wave if you're able to keep up with the pace of the game and how quickly Spartans move in our game. I think that that stat shows you the versatility that a mouse and keyboard player has. He is not limited to a sensitivity on the joysticks. With the swoop of an arm, he can be looking one direction to the next, and that is why he's so active. That is why his damage and kills per minute are going to be higher than what you would say your traditional controller player is. Oh, they look like a new Cloud9 roster that is bound to place in the top 8 if they're consistently playing at the level we just saw. But consistency is the name of the game. You got to do it across the best of 5. And that's what gives Foe a little bit of hope because they've started so slow. Tusk, the player on screen, the guy from game 1 with the best KD ratio. Let's see what he can do to kick this one off.
Yeah, Tusk laying down some shots over towards the B side. Looks like one falling down a piece there in the forms of Rammyy and WuTum. Stalk rifle in the hands of Tusk, and this game playing a lot slower than expected for so many fast and aggressive players. Looks like everyone is just posturing for position, making sure they don't want to overextend and go into any unknown areas. They want to get a little more info across the map before making a play. Mighty snagging that camo. Can he get away with it? Looks like Mighty does get away with it. He has the Bulldog, gets a double kill, take out Diagram and Sceptify. Now, where are the spawns coming in for Cloud9? Because this could be a scary time here for Cloud9 if they all spawn in one spot and Foe decide to collapse in.
In all of game 1, Foe were not able to really accomplish a successful camo grab and get away. Right now, Mighty's doing the most that Foe has done with camo the entire series so far. 3-0, a great double kill with the Bulldog. It's still in his back pocket. He's got that tool to use. It can be so difficult to work with.
And look at that flank there from Rammyy, just doing a little loop-de-loop over to Dumpster, getting over towards Commando and shooting those 2 players in the back. So what looked like it was the start of a great collapse from Foe just got stopped completely. All of Cloud9 chose a direction, they chose driveway, they ran straight through it, and they equalized kills. That's a great trade during that situation. Sure, going 2 for 2 doesn't sound fantastic, but when you're all spawned in one location, if you can trade kills and get out of that without getting all 4 down, I count that as a win in my book.
This game now all tied up as Mighty's picks up that kill. The game's gonna slow down. Everybody on Cloud9 spawning in tram. I actually wanna hop into a listen in with Cloud9 and hear how this team is able to communicate out of this difficult situation.
Red one shot. Be safe, guys.
One shot mom.
Yeah, what's
Hey, camo stars.
One shot red, guys.
A room.
Stuck red, guys.
Tires last Okay, I spawn cafe. One side in.
One shot red. If you have any.
No, camo's trash. I'm going to Meadow.
Oh, that's Jay.
Meadow, camo. Yeah, trash.
Yo, 2B, 1-3-0. He's going arcade. I should go 3-0.
Hey, there's Can we hit purple? Yeah, find the one.
Don't give it up.
I'm back.
I'm ready.
Purple. Wait, 81 guys.
Yeah, right.
And front guys, front. Top it. Two purple.
Sorry. One shot.
WuTum.
Launch, go charge, I think.
Purple. He's purple, guys. Purple.
Listen, they're gonna spawn B after this.
WuTum. Purple.
You on me? I traded. No, red bar, front seat. He's on the pillar.
Okay. Watch your back seat. Already bottom seat.
PD. He's back in.
Okay.
Shut the win it. Still there. Still just up there.
Olive. Tires.
Come on. That's spot. Lockers.
And P1, listen. P1's Mighty's.
Where's he going?
He's down the ramp.
I have nothing to see it. They're gonna be like B-side. Yeah, one's bottom of it. One's B stairs.
Look for one.
One's
Watch purple, Jay. Watch purple.
Kind of playing it.
They have a bulldog. Yo, shots up. Yo, one's bottom of it. China, guys. Benches.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Yeah,
Yo, heaven. One shot. One shot back in. I'm blinking.
One purple.
One shot.
Ready, go PD.
Purple.
Sure, I got three.
What's purple?
Yeah,
Last guy.
Chinese. I'm down. I'm not down. I'm good.
Guys, look for this shit.
We spawn purple, we spawn purple. They're gonna be B, they're gonna be heavy. Yo, watch planners. I have shot for this one.
Yo, I have shot too. I have shot too.
Top zMightys.
Yo, don't get, we're risking on.
I'm taking too much damage.
Good, clean communication out of Cloud9. You could hear the names being called out. The second camouflage, third camouflage about to pop here bottom middle. The control, it's split about half and half right now, but TchiK able to get away with that camouflage. Foe once again dominating the power-up story here in the game 2.
Yeah, I'm like split on that comms. Oh my god, not sure which target to hit. Unfortunately, trades the melee there, and TchiK just desperately trying to stay alive. But the kills are all secured. As I was saying though, when it comes to those comms, oh my god, WuTum getting a triple kill out of that whole madness scenario. When it comes to those comms, when I'm hearing just non-stop calling out where people are at, I feel like that can be most beneficial when your team has a strong advantage. At that point, you're trying to secure where people are at and finish off kills. However, I don't feel like it's as advantageous when you're trying to set up specific pushes or you're on the back foot. Instead, I want to hear more coordination of, I'm with you, I'm pushing this direction, we're pushing towards this side. And it felt like Cloud9's communication didn't change no matter which situation they were in.
I can agree with that, but one thing I did like as a note as this game continues past the closer to the 30 kill mark here is the fact that they were saying each other's names as to who should respond to what. Jake, front A one-shot Jake. That immediately tells you, like, when you hear that, that immediately tells you I need to be the one that looks like I'm in a position that can capitalize on that because your teammates can see exactly where you are from their death cam. So I like that adaptation from Cloud9, that opportunity for efficiency there. But right now, we got to talk about Foe. They're having much more success here in game 2, a 32-26 lead. A lot of it has to do with the control of the power weapons and power-ups so far. And it feels like ever since they've been able to contain one of those, they've been able to stroll it into map control and continue that snowball effect.
Yeah, they've been able to, like you said, kind of roll those advantages one into the other and hold on to this essential 6-kill lead for a while. Foe going to be completely happy if they just kind of trade this out and make sure they don't get on the back foot. But that's where Foe gets into a tricky situation. We saw it all throughout yesterday. Foe, in many cases, were able to kind of hang with a squad like SSG. However, once they got to an all-4 down and they're on that back foot, they do not know how to mitigate those losses as well as some of these other top teams.
Uh-oh, Dave. First camouflage of the game for Cloud9. All of a sudden, just a 2-kill lead. You blink, and the lead that was once 7 kills for Foe now immediately erased. 35-35. What can we do with the camo? Cloud9 says we can tie this up. Bulldog is going to be on respawn. Good information from Diagram. You know he's giving that to his teammate, but he wants to make a play with this camo.
I like that play. He says one of his other teammates can grab that weapon, and he's going to try to get up close and personal. But Mighty's getting a crucial kill on that player. I just don't think Diagram was expecting to take that damage that quickly because of that stalk rank.
You turn the corner, you see 3 members, one of them having red gun. You are deleted in this meta, as Diagram found out the hard way. Foe able to jump back into a 3-kill lead for now. Trades are a blessing for Foe right now. 40-37, 3 players spotted purple. Not a great fight for Cloud9 right now. They need to get out of dodge. WuTum's gonna stay alive here. Good information, good control of the red gun. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, one thing that's also interesting, you notice how quick WuTum's looking across the map. I also feel like he's just a little quick to jump in situations. Maybe an additional jump or unnecessary jump.
You know that space bar is just so close.
Yeah, I guess it's just so easy to hit, but yeah, I feel like there's certain times where he's jumping on top of a gen, and then I feel like sometimes there's just an extra jump, and I'm not sure if that is just his style of play, or sometimes he's just interested in using that elevation advantage if somebody's coming right around the corner there, because that's going to be a spot that he's going to be able to excel in fights.
WuTum holding down this cafe area. They're playing for this camouflage that's spawning up here shortly. Cloud9 opting to push the arcade side of the map. Good information from WuTum, good damage. Once again stays alive. It's up to the rest of Foe. What can they do? Trading kills. Once again, a very positive effect. 46-43 go down for Cloud9, and I believe Foe will have camo to play around as well.
It's all 4 down. You see WuTum already putting damage on the spawn, getting the 3-shot melee on the Diagram. Good and bad, because right now, I don't think Foe know where members of Cloud9 are spawning. They spot the first spawner, traded kills, and sometimes that can throw spawns in disarray. I know sometimes throughout this current bandit start, we've been seeing some disorienting spawns, but especially when you're fighting that first spawner, you can only expect first spawns out.
WuTum doesn't get the kill, but that damage was crazy. And the fact that he stayed alive, Foe get the job done. And just like in pool play, this team seems to wake up only for game 2s as they tie this series up.
A massive, massive victory there for Foe, especially as it started off a little scary in certain situations. But what's more important is that they closed it out. They got that 6-kill lead. Even when it bounced back there for Cloud9, they were able to reel it right back. I love that entry photo there for WuTum too. Just showing off a keyboard saying, I got a different peripheral.
Yep. There's a new sheriff in town, WuTum says. 11, 10, and 9 for the kid, but it was really everybody doing their piece here. Even TchiK with 10 assists. You'll take that every day of the week. Foe really had control of that entire game from the jump, it felt. And that first camouflage, I feel like, was everything to get the ball rolling and say, oh yeah, these power-ups, they end up being pretty important.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the only time we really saw Cloud9 kind of get into a scary position is when they got that camo. We saw that 6-kill lead just shrink instantly. And so even though it started off around even, Cloud9 was able to bring it back around that 35-kill mark. And then from there on out, it was Foe trading out kills, closing out the game, and taking that lead.
As we take a look at some of the highlights, just good damage across the map. I really liked watching it from WuTum's point of view because he gets the players arcade weak, then he rotates, he gets the players top rail weak, even finds himself a kill. Just a good job of staying alive when he was half shield. I feel like in the bandit meta, so often do you overchow for one shot ends up being 2 shots, and then all of a sudden what you thought was playing your life is now erased. The enemy team has numbers. They're able to take so much space and advantage with that, but Foe doing a much better job of controlling their part of the map and really dictating a lot of the fights and the damage as we shift our focus to a Game 3 recharge strongholds here. We know European teams, especially Quadrant as of last year, a member of that team, TchiK, a very famous strongholds team, some of the best to ever do it, probably the best team to ever do it. I have no problem saying that, actually. Can TchiK give some of that strategy, some of that light to this Foe roster, and does that give them an upper hand here?
It has to a degree. I mean, also keep in mind, who would Quadrant have been practicing against during those times? All the other European teams. They've had to take some learnings from how Quadrant played strongholds, had to try to pick some pieces from TchiK and the Quadrant team's strategy. And let's see if they can apply that to this new roster here in the form of Foe.
Players getting situated. Rammyy not looking too happy right now. That is the face of a player that lost game 2. WuTum, he's too young to really understand how big this moment is. He's just like, yep, I'm here, I play Master Key. Calm as ever. You love to see that in the young gun. Usually they're loud and obnoxious like I was when I came on the scene. But obviously, he's having a little bit more success a little earlier in his career for a reason.
He's crushing it, so super proud and excited to see where his Halo career takes him, because already showing he can hang with the best, and I feel like it's just going to continue to get better and better.
Little short story about this kid. He came from Splitgate, a game that I guess has similar time on target, like acquisition.
Yeah, there's definitely
sandbox materials,
some combat similarities, and even some objective similarities.
Rammy's turned that frown upside down because this series far from over.
Yeah, the series just getting started. You have to now say we're in a best-of-3 scenario. We got to take this next game, put the pressure on them for games 4 and 5.
Jimbo having a blast, got the boys laughing, maybe cool, calm, collected.
I mean, Jimbo's got to be, what, the most veteran player here from the EU.
Jimbo's like 42 years old or something. He's been competing longer than you.
Want to feel old? I turned 40 this year.
Oh, no.
I literally turned 40 this year.
That's terrifying. I'm 34. I have no hair. I see WuTum up there just glowing in the wind. Jealousy is all I can have for the kid as he's starting to make a name for himself. Cloud9. The Game 2 Rocky is the big question. This is a team that I feel like so often throughout Halo Infinite the past 2 years has gotten top 12, has had much more difficult matchups than I would say Foe is probably for their top 8 matchup. It's usually they're playing Sentinels or Native Gaming of the past, a very difficult team to try and overcome to get that top 8 placing. This is probably a winnable series in their eyes.
This is, yeah, on paper, a squad that you would like to play in this scenario. Both these teams look at each other and say, this is a beatable team.
Yes, like if we want to do well, these are the series we have to win.
Yep.
You find yourself tied up 1-1, game 3, recharge, strongholds, camo control has dictated the first 2 outcomes of the series. It's going to play an important role here, and if you can pair it with that shock rifle, you can do some serious work very quickly.
Yeah, we're going to see who gets control of those power-ups, who gets control of these first strongholds. Let's kick it off with WuTum. Just laying down so much damage, long haul, and over at Sneaky. Gets the flank over towards bottom control. Double kill on the board for WuTum, and he's not stopping. He's going for the C.
He's Thanos right now. I'll do it myself. Knocks 2 players to no shield, finishes up the other 2. You want some too, buddy? WuTum, done. Gets the kill, takes the stronghold, and it's a trip cap for foe early on.
Happen, does he decide to press this advantage towards A or just hold towards control? Looks like gonna wait for a moment, and the push comes in here from foe. Is this an overextension? ZMightys goes down, WuTum goes down, Jimbo goes down. And what looked like an aggressive play to take a trip cap is now going to turn into an all-4 down for foe.
And you would hope that that would allow you to get more than 10 points on the board. Unfortunately not for the side of foe. Cloud9 back in control and in the lead even after that great play from WuTum to kick it off.
And you have to say that's just a straight-up mistake there from foe's side. You have to know when you can press your advantages and when the other team has a strong spawning position. Elevator, it's a really tough spot to collapse on until you already have the advantage, until you have someone with a secondary angle. And they kind of trickled in one by one, and now because of it, they're down by 20 points.
20 points, but they are in B. B doesn't get transferred though. Diagram with the assassination onto WuTum, resets B. Cloud9 continue to score.
Cloud9 looking good after a scary start. Fight on triple stacks, gonna see who gets the help first. Looks like Sceptify is gonna help Rammyy down there in the bottom center, and Rammyy just still being a nuisance down here.
Good damage.
Has to decide if he's gonna stay down here for camo, but realizes it's still 15 seconds away. Gets a bit more active in top center.
Good damage, good information. Multiple players, no shield. They're all going to spawn elevator here, Rammyy says to the rest of the team. And this is a containment process. Camo coming up. You don't want to overextend. The push from foe is a focus on the C. One player bottom middle can't quite get diagrammed just yet. Eventually, WuTum's able to get that kill. But it makes it long enough to where now Rammyy has snuck it away with the camouflage.
And look at that. Rammyy gets it with his second life. I would say, especially on a map like this, where camo is so easily accessible in the bomb center, you're only going down there unless you're hiding and trying to bait something, or going down last second. And so I like that play from Rammyy. Get up, get active, don't leave your teammates in a 3-on-4 for 15 seconds. Instead, he goes up, like I said, gets active, and then gets camo later, and it falls into his hands.
A and B now in the setup for Cloud9. Rammyy spotting multiple players trying to do the camo jump. That's not the way you want to go, foe. Rammyy takes them all down with the assist of the rest of Cloud9. They're pushing the trip cap. They get all 4 down. Let's spawn them over towards A once again. Wash, rinse, repeat.
Let's see if Cloud9 does the same play that foe did. Are they going to challenge here at elevator? Looks like Tusk does immediately try to push towards elevator. Does anyone else push on in? Diagram also falls. Not sure if that's an elevator challenge or someone already in position, but this could be history repeating itself.
That grenade from Rammyy knocks the player to no shield in the turbine. His teammate's able to pick up the kill. 3 go down for foe again. Rammyy is popping off right now. 4 down for foe. They push the trip cap once again, spawning them long haul. And if you're foe, the lead already up over 100, you have to find a way to get some slays.
Rammyy has been in more melee and up-close battles, I feel like, this series than anyone else.
Man.
He is just swinging. I'm going to be careful if I'm walking by him in the elevator in real life, or if I'm walking by him in the hallway. I am just going to be, you know, making sure there's plenty of space. No lunge distance between us.
Rammy's walking extra wide this morning. 2 players from foe trying to push towards glass. The headshot from Sceptify, not good enough. As that player knocked to no shield, but not picked up. 2-on-2 split. B finally getting transferred over, but here comes Sceptify with every intention of getting the reset. Multiple members make that such a difficult fight for Jimbo. The reset happens. A being transferred over by foe. Unfortunately, in the meantime, C being transferred from Cloud9. It's a complete flip of the map, but somehow Rammyy back A, where he started this phenom, is now pushing the trip cap once again.
Yeah, those B trades are so devastating as you get the hill so close in there. We saw it happen against WuTum at the end. We saw Jimbo just falling there in that most recent exchange. it's just, like I said, devastating. You can get to 99% of that conversion, and someone flips in, gets the melee, and gets the reset. And all that hard work in the most vulnerable stronghold is gone.
200-16, an absolute slaughter. Game 2 did not shake or waver Cloud9's confidence. 3 down for foe again, and they will have one chance to come off respawn and stop this trip cap.
It's not looking good. I don't even see where these spawns are at, because not only do they have to stop this trip cap, they have to get 2 of these strongholds. So C is just going to stop the bleeding, and there's still a gaping wound here. This one's going to be over before we know it. 248, 249. That's going to be game number 3 in dominating fashion for Cloud9.
Well, I hope you didn't go to the bathroom, because you'd have missed that game. Cloud9 dominated from start to finish. And once again, a dominant performance from every point of view we saw on Cloud9. They were making great play after great play. And from the side of foe, they were scattered, what felt like everywhere. The teamwork was not there. And that's a very big red flag as they lose their second objective of the series going into game 4.
And you gotta wonder, is that just a cascading effect from that very first failed push? You saw how well WuTum and crew on foe got those kills. They got 2 of the strongholds, overextended towards A, towards that elevator. Keep in mind, they got their first 10 points of the total 18 that they got off the break of the game.
Yeah, it looks so good from the start.
It looks so good. You take a snapshot.
Players to no shield. Like, look at this highlight.
Right here.
Picking up a double. We should have camo control. We should have a trip cap. No. Cloud9 come off respawn with that vengeance, making plays everywhere on the map. And some of the mistakes we want to point out from foe here is just being spread out, not helping their team, trying to do too much.
And one thing I'm also just looking at the kill feed at that 2-minute and 20-second mark. Foe had half of their kills. They already had 12 of their 23 kills at that 2-minute and 20-second mark. After that, it was just the Cloud9 show.
We ask ourselves, did TchiK have the recipe for success? Did he learn something from the Quadrant boys that he would be able to take to foe? Well, it may have been Cloud9 that have actually learned against some of the scrims that they've had against the North Americans' top teams that gave them the advantage there in game 3. Solitude, King of the Hill, is going to be game 4, and another camo for both teams to try and focus on. It has been so powerful throughout this game. I do want to talk about one thing for that recharge strongholds. How many times, Dave, do we see one member of foe in B trying to get a cap with all 4 members alive from Cloud9? And what's got to be going on there? Because you know, if you jump into B before anyone's dead, there's no way you're getting that transferred over.
Yeah, it's tough because it's one of those hills that, yes, you can do it when there's even numbers on the board, if it's not 4 versus 4. You can do it when it's a 2-on-2 situation. You can isolate fights, but generally, if you're just giving away one of your 4 players' positions over in the open spot, 2 different things can go wrong. One is that player can just picked off right out of the hill because there's so many different players that have angles. Or the second one is your other teammates are fighting an odd number battle across the map. They're fighting a 4v3 over towards Turbine, over towards Longhold that you cannot participate in.
Yeah, time after time, it was one player trying to get it past halfway, and yeah, halfway is great, but it doesn't matter when all they have to do is get the kill and get the toes in the sandbox, and you get that reset. So a phenomenal job by Cloud9 to defend that stronghold specifically throughout that game, getting those kills, getting those resets, giving them not only the points advantage, but the numbers advantage that snowballed into those several trip caps that Cloud9 were able to efficiently capitalize on. But here we go, game 4, backs against the wall, tournament lives on the line for foe, the #1 seed from Europe. What do they have in store for us to get us to a game 5?
Kicking it off on Solitude, King of the Hill here. Are they collectively gonna bring this one back, or are they gonna have a long, lonely night here? I've been there before. You start to replay those games in your head. You start to say, what ifs? What did go wrong?
What if I played the ball?
What could have gone differently there? And that's not the thoughts you want to have. You want to just equalize this right now, bring it to a game 5, and keep your tournament run alive. Can foe bring it back here? We will find out here over these next 10 minutes.
This first hill is so important, especially if it takes a long time to cap. Camouflage is the focus for both teams. WuTum has the shock rifle, but Rammyy has him to no shield. WuTum trying to stay alive, has to reload. The teamwork comes through for Foe, but Cloud9 get the early kill advantage, and oh my, Sceptify finds himself a triple kill.
Just when things start to feel like they're falling apart for Cloud9, in certain instances, you see a player go down, you see Rammyy getting shot on the side, Sceptify cleaning up everything. Crucial triples or overkills when his team needs them the most.
Continuing to anchor this back snipe position, finds another kill with the shock. 3 go down for Foe. This hill gonna be over 50% by the time Foe can come off respawn.
One thing I want to check is looking at Foe, how long are they gonna have all 4 players alive? I feel like we've been seeing a bit of trickling, or that's kind of my inclination as we saw during last game. It just felt like so much control from Cloud9. So let's see, after this last pick on TchiK here, are they gonna get all 4 again to push up? Looks like Mighty's last one alive. Is he waiting for the team, or is he going to just push on his own? Looks like Mighty's going for Hill alone in a disadvantage. Like in a situation like that, you don't want to be in the hill as 2 or 3 members of Cloud9 alive.
Yeah, you're
full power both sides now.
You're desperate to play objective, but unfortunately, you're giving your position away and you're allowing Rammyy to assess
There's the stagger
situation.
from Mighty.
Here comes Rammyy assessing the situation, finds himself an assist and another player to no shield. That player can't be capitalized on, but this is fine if he's top sniped. WuTum with a ninja in the kill feed is exactly what European fans want to see. TchiK able to make his way now towards the hill. He's got a player with thrust to deal with, but a teammate is there to help him. Multiple players coming from the hotel blue side of the map. TchiK still doing some damage. The double kill, the repulse, more damage onto a third. 3 go down for Cloud9, and now all of a sudden, Foe have a chance in this first hill.
Finally equalized here. Hill is almost even. They know spawns coming up towards Cafe and Hotel.
That's a big kill.
Getting these picks and getting these players weak over there, they're eventually going to get these finishes. I like those nades from TchiK, knowing somebody's going to come out of that window from market side and might drop right to that nade into dip, so I like those pre-nades. But here comes the damage. 3 down, WuTum, the last one alive.
Oh no.
Is he going to charge and try to challenge us? He's waiting for his teammates. I like this play. Increase his team's chance to make this final push, but it might be too little too late. That's going to be first hill going for Cloud9, and those can be heartbreaking as you got so close to bringing it back.
You get that first kill on the Sceptify, you have numbers advantage. Let's just play the hill, let's stay alive. Unfortunately, TchiK's teammates fall apart around him. They are able to push truck, it opens up the map, and Cloud9 steal away that first point at the end. The rotation to yard from Sceptify here is perfect. They know where Foe are going to be. 2 are down, the last 2 players are being spotted over towards the hotel. Sceptify able to jump into the hill, anchor this blue position from this hill, and a lot of information from Sep is giving Diagram everything he needs to pop off.
I was just gonna say, I thought Foe did a great job of pushing outside of Cafe. They started to push players away towards a secondary angle, whether that's going through LR or going through Snipe and just having more map control. But Diagram shut it all down. Got a double kill from what I can tell all by himself with that shock rifle. And that put Foe back at square one. Spawning again, all coming from one angle. Eventually broke this hill setup, but they have to hold this entire time. You know if Cloud9 get these kills, they're gonna get those last 5 to 7 seconds in that hill and cap number 2.
10, 2, and 6, Diagram starts this game 4 off, trying to put a punctuation on this series. Foe will have to play perfect to not go down 2-0 in this game 4. Unfortunately, TchiK going down, Mighty's going down, makes this perfect Halo so impossible. WuTum, the last player alive, and I'm not sure if he's taken down. He's still top yard, but he's spotted out, and this will be Cloud9's hill momentarily.
Yeah, spotted, and that was kind of similar to the very first hill. WuTum last one alive. What's the play? Does he stay alive? Does he try to step the next hill? And it feels like trickle death again here from Foe. However, we do have Cam on the hands of Mighty. Can this be the turning point here? As roster needs, he needs to turn this into a kill or 2 and then let his teammates jump inside. He knows at least where 2 players at. Start shooting at top diff, ends up getting a spot on that player, gets another one shot. Can they finish off Diagram? There's the 3 dead. This can be some hill time here for WuTum or Jimbo. Rammyy backing away, staying alive. Look at what he is doing here as the last one alive, putting himself nowhere near the danger. Instead, regrouping towards yard and making the push toward market.
Diagram up to 14, 2, and 8. Rammyy trying to push into blue, but it gets shut down. A good hold from Cloud9 gives them numbers advantage, but nobody in the hill right now. 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes, I should say, on the clock. Time not a factor yet, but as this hill gets contested, it could get ugly.
I like the spot. Sneaky so far. Getting behind enemy lines. Gonna try to get the finish on this player in hill, but spotted. Unfortunately, Diagram taken down was that most forward player there for Cloud9, and now kind of in a staggered position. Foe really gonna have to mess up here in order to not get this third hill, and now put themselves only one away from tying this game up here.
Gonna be 2-1 now. Still just about 3 minutes on the clock. A great hold from Foe. Good round the slays. TchiK trying to make his way into yard, trying to win a battle against a player with thrust. It's so difficult. He's able to stay alive, and his teammates should pick up the kill.
One downside, though, of getting that dip hill is that you saw all the members of Foe just die right there. A lot of times, once you get that hill, you want to make sure you're not giving up all your lives for it, especially when you're that far ahead in the hill. There's a difference between having two teams very close to capping that hill and dipping your toe in last second to score that point out of security. Well, there's a big difference if you start to lose some members and you're 90% in the way of that hill. There's some strategy in theory behind just getting out of the hill, let your team spawn, get a little more control across the map, and then finishing that hill off.
You're able to sandwich the other team, but when you're down 2-0 and you're down in the series, that strategy probably not the most viable. So I like how we saw Foe play it out. Over halfway now to tying this game up here in this fourth hill, as WuTum and zMightys have been the slayers to pick it up. zMightys with the shock rifle and camo in his hand, able to pick up a couple of kills, some good damage on the two players, but nobody able to pick up any of those assists just yet. There comes one, and this hill is gonna go to Foe as 3 members of Cloud9 go down, make it all 4. Foe have woken up in game 4.
End of the day, they're hitting their shots, they're getting their kills. You can kind of do whatever you want when things are going your way. So good job to Foe to tie this one up. And like you said, they have awoken. They've been setting up for this new top snipe hill. And I don't see anyone from Cloud9 easily breaking this through, but look at this push. Coming through snipe ramp, all 4 go down just as I say that. Cloud9 now have all 4 alive across the map. They can set up, they can put a spawn trap out there, and they know Cafe is a likely candidate.
All of Cloud9 was not the no shields. They all end up staying alive. Beautiful grenade placement gets the job done from them. They finally have control back on the map. 2-2's the score. The hill's about tied, but here comes Foe off the break.
I like this play from Foe. It's interesting. It feels like part of their strategy is when they spawn in a spot, push the kind of exact opposite direction. So you're not coming out from the most obvious avenue. Yeah. So all that focus might have been on Cafe ramp. Instead, they're already pushing towards yard. They're taking over LR. They're getting a secondary angle, and then anyone who's a late spawner can kind of be that anchor and shoot through.
Yeah.
Sure, it gives up a lot of time there, but I do think it's an effective method.
Absolutely. The question is, can Cloud9 catch on to that while it's happening, and can they punish it in the meantime? And the answer looks like it was no this time around. 3 members of Cloud9 go down, Foe back in the hill, and they're going to be close to scoring this. One push for Cloud9, I'd say, and this is over. Here comes the flank from zMightys. Great damage, but unfortunately, he gets taken down. This is about to get scrappy.
Jimbo got that flank as well, got a back smack. Now 2 flankers that kind of were unnoticed there from Foe, but somehow they're not able to scrap up those kills, but in the end, Foe able to scrap up the last few seconds of time there in hill number 5 with a 3-2 lead.
From being down 2-0 to now being up 3-2. 2 minutes on the clock, but Foe looking to put a punctuation here in game 4, push this series to a game 5. They got feet in the hills, kills in their favor, unfortunately, traded out. Cloud9 pick up a couple kills of their own. zMightys still in this hill doing some good damage, but more importantly, getting almost halfway to pushing his team to a game 5.
I like that play, like you said, no hesitation, just jump in that hill. They already got halfway. Clutch, when would you say is the time that you start to play the hill time? When do you start to just drain it out? Clearly not at 2 minutes left.
Not with 2 minutes left. It depends on the progression on the hill as well.
How fast?
If it's a fresh hill and there's a minute left, we can play time. If there's more, I'm thinking we play for the victory here. I'd rather be proactive with my assessment rather than reactive and sitting on our back heels. How often do you see teams that play on their back heels lose the game? You don't want to get caught doing that with your tournament life on the line. I like how far we're playing this.
I agree entirely. I think you have to put that clock and that pressure against the opposing team. Force them to charge out more panic. They're going to make more missteps if they know the hill is being scored versus oh, we have all the time in the world, they're going to be positioned in spots where they can just kill us. And it becomes a bit more predictable. So I agree entirely.
Diagram, a big kill from him, a massive one-on-one win will give his team numbers advantage. Shot control, camo is up. They should have map control and able to acquire this, but here come the respawners of foe. The camo grab could be everything to both these teams.
Could be everything, but I'm actually worried about Cloud9 right here. They got so many kills over those last 15 seconds, and they were not scrapping up the time. They were not putting that pressure. In fact, I think Diagram may have been the player that needed to get inside the hill during that last exchange.
Everyone's scared to go for that camo right now. The hill is what's the priority for Diagram on screen. Kills going back and forth, but Diagram being a nuisance, still alive with the shock rifle in his back pocket. Has repulse to play with. zMightys does stay alive with thrust. A beautiful job by him, but here comes the pressure on the Diagram dip. He stays alive, dip, dives, ducks. Diagram picks up the kill, gets back in the hill, and all of a sudden foe are going to need to panic.
Diagram has been so sneaky down low on the map here. One thing I felt is that he's always hidden in a spot I would not expect. And look at this Tusk. Getting his last few crucial seconds, going to capture this, and we got ourselves a 3-3 game clutch. Don't worry about overtime, because it is not going to time here. It is going to be decided here on this yard hill.
And because that camo's picked up so late, Cloud9 were going to have that as an opportunity to break that hill. Unfortunately, Tusk shoots the plasma pistol, gets double teamed from an unsuspected player top yard. He gets taken down, and now foe have control.
Great shots there from Diagram, along with the help onto Rammyy. That player TchiK over at the posters was going to be such a nuisance there. Eliminating TchiK there is now going to allow Cloud9 to more easily push across the map. And look at this battle still taking place. zMightys getting so many shots and so much damage on market. Killing spree at the end of this game here. So needed there for the foe roster. What are you seeing, Clutch?
We're going to a Game 5 day, moments away from foe coming back in Game 4, down 2-0 to finding themselves first to 50 kills for a top 8 position.
What a clutch series of events there for foe. They played that so well. It started to look like they're down and out. You started to feel that Cloud9 were just going to walk away with that game, especially they're up 2 hills. They had momentum on their side. It felt like even when we saw some fantastic plays from foe, they were just being countered and equalized by kills from the Cloud9 roster. But for the first time here in these objective games, we see even slays, 70
That's
apiece.
actually crazy.
And foe walking away with the objective efficacy in game number 4.
Dave Walsh is so good at math that he was able to add all of those kills up and know that that was 70 to 70. I don't have the brain power for that, but thank God I have Dave Walsh next to me. And thank God we have a Game 5 here today in the elimination bracket to get a top 8 placing. Both of these teams want this one so bad. And for a Slayer to dictate these teams' future here this weekend, that's got to be everything you want as a fan sitting here watching the show. So strap on in, it's going to be a good one. Dave, I do want to talk about Game 4 for just a second. Foe being down 2-0. It looks so clean for Cloud9, but 3 straight hills simultaneously, it felt like, went their way. What went right for foe?
Oh, what went right for foe? I felt like they scrapped up time when they had the ability to. I felt like there was plenty of times where it was a 2-on-2 or a 3-on-3, and foe weren't overextended grabbing the hill. Instead, they were grabbing hill and forcing Cloud9 to panic a little bit, maybe come out of unnatural locations and fight before they were ready. And so I felt like foe was scrapping that and doing a good job putting the pressure on when they had control.
Whew. I'm sweating. This is getting hard. It's been a minute since I casted, and these lights, they get brighter as the series go on. These players, they get crisper as the series go on. And the pressure, it builds as the series go on. Live Fire Slayer is the name of the game. Cloud9 looked very dominant on Live Fire earlier on in the series, but that was a long time ago, Dave. What are the keys to victory here, and who are you leaning towards as players to watch as far as opportunities to really get their team over the hump for a top 8 place?
We've been highlighting them all series, but specifically game number 2, we highlighted and said WuTum. I mean, he has the 2nd highest KD when it comes to Slayers so far. 19.8 kills every 10 minutes. You can expect to be very, very active throughout this game. And it's gonna need to be clutch. So if you're trying to get some motion going on in this game, I don't view live fire as stagnant or slow as some of those other maps. I feel like there's a lot of times where teams get the advantage and they continue to push that. Pushing across the top of the map, spawn trapping over at green, spawn trapping over at dummies when they get opportunities. So would love to see a strong start and a strong pace of game there for WuTum and Foe.
Of course, we had the S7 and the camouflage on the map, 2 key pieces to victory. We saw,
oh yeah, those things too.
We saw what happened when Tusk was able to put both of those together in multiple different situations in game 1. That was great for Cloud9. If you're Foe, that cannot happen twice.
And keep in mind, they got both those weapons and power-ups at the start of each game.
Yes.
So it's not going to be much different of a start. Sure, you might have the arguable oddball where players are taking some time or resources and focusing on that, but end of the day, if both teams seem to be focused on this camo, I think Cloud9 happens to be winning those starting engagements.
And because you played a game type on this map earlier in the series, you've seen both sides of how this team wants to break the opening break. Does that give you an advantage if you're Foe, being on the recipient end of a losing strategy at the start of both sides of the oddball? Do you think it's now an advantage for them to maybe have an opportunity to say, hey, last time we got smashed when we did this. Let's switch it up.
Absolutely. You start to play that game of rock, paper, scissors. You start to say, all right, we got this, standard start, which is very safe, which we feel confident is not going to be perfectly red.
We've seen some good Halo being played by Sceptify, by all these players. I mean, even WuTum may be an up-and-coming superstar. So, Tony, you might be onto something. But right now, we are on to a Game 5. Aquarius is the map they're showing in that overlay.
But it's going to be live fire. We got live fire Slayer. And
you never know.
I don't want to put pressure on anyone, especially the young gun, but I want to kick this one off with WuTum if possible. I want to see how he's kicking this off here in game number 5. And look at this melting over at Nest Bridge. WuTum, and I believe zMightys pushing on over towards the Nest side. We got a one-on-one, Wisely backs down. And pressure is being put. He's buying time. Can TchiK and Jimbo take advantage of this distraction? Get this camo, do enough damage over on the silo side of the map.
WuTum's staying alive long enough to be annoying for Cloud9 to try and deal with, because he's planning on flanking this camo play that Cloud9 have now overextended for. WuTum, if he can get there and have a good timing, he may be able to impact that fight. Unfortunately, he's out of the fight. Cloud9 get the camo, and they have rotated all across the map, WuTum being irrelevant for that camo play.
Great job staying alive, but like you said, as you're that flanker, there's this very difficult dance you have to play. On one hand, you want to be in the action, you want to be pulling their attention, you want to be doing damage, but if you overextend, you're going to die. If you underextend and don't get close enough, your teammates are fighting an odd number battle. Like I said, it's such a difficult balance being that perfect flanker, and you saw right
Jimbo!
there the damage of being a little too far away from WuTum.
The veteran, he's been in a few Game 5s throughout his career, finds himself with the snipe, a beautiful headshot. And I love the fact that he backs up to tower. He's going to have some pressure on him from front tower, but realigns that, knows that the Quantum was back at green, finds the kill. Unfortunately, too many members of Cloud9 to deal with afterwards. So Jimbo just gets traded out. A double kill for Diagram. Information on respawners from Foe will make this just a 1-kill game, and Cloud9 will have control of the map.
Too many spike grenades falling towards that back tower, and looks like Diagram is the one intended to grab this snipe. Any of those members of Cloud9 could have grabbed it, but they said, Diagram, it's game 5, we're putting this in your hands.
You've seen what Suppress can do. He's got the same genetics. Can he have the same impact with the S7? Can't hit that player back green. Multiple players back pillars. No body shots with the snipe, but solid damage. He does give up his life, but at the end, Cloud9 will continue to make this a 1-kill game.
Being a part of the fight, I don't mind swapping to that bandit. Make sure you get that guaranteed damage versus the all or nothing. Like you said, there was enough pressure there from Foe, and I mean, the more time that passes where Foe are able to go even while the sniper's in play, the better. Looks like Sniper now to play, and this AR, he's got to get up close and personal. Looks like he gets the close fight, but that QT is going to save a life right there. What a great repulse to stay alive by Rammyy. Getting up close and personal and still not dying.
Not often you see a player without a bandit in his back pocket, but the AR gets the work done. The repulse keeps him alive, and somehow Rammyy gets out of that situation with some good damage, but more importantly, Cloud9 tie this game up 12-12.
Diagram just trying to put this extra pressure, making sure nobody can flank him over here at Sandbags. The fight for Snipe is coming up. Who has the better position? Is it the team with Tower or the team with Camo over at Sandbags? Diagram trades out kills with Mighty.
Two-on-two situation. Snipe's still up top middle. Sceptify able to find that snipe. Maybe it's actually Rammyy that dropped down bottom middle with that snipe. Can we see some Rammyy POV? Thank you, Observer. You're doing a great job back there, L-Town. He's going to drop it, actually.
But now we're here in this tied situation, 14 apiece. Cloud9 have Sniper. Do Foe pick up the pace and put the pressure on, or do they slow it down? I actually want to go to a Foe listen and hear how they're calming during this game number 5 crucial situation.
Pushing. You went back.
Maybe running with snipe. That's one time.
He's gonna be on you. They're all gonna be. They're all gonna be there.
Hey, you got one shot. Handshake.
We need to disappear.
Cross one. Throwing.
Oh, nice.
Two shadows. I'm like,
Follow me this one.
One shot, still dead.
Demi's burst. Demi's one shot. Demi's one shot.
One cut. I'm dead, cuts.
Nice shot.
Double cut.
Yeah, hold on.
It's one shot cut still.
Up.
Don't get dummy. I got ping on 2.
All good. Relax.
Alright, one's dummy, one's cuts, 2 going right.
Bottom mid.
No, 2. One's cuts.
Get camo.
There's 3 on the right.
You play out
They're
left.
just playing safe. Playing safe now.
Back B. Put it top, hold it down. Back B, Rammyy, put it top.
Put it top.
Okay. Dead.
Mod. He's here somewhere for sure. Yes, maybe.
Nice. Juicy, guys.
We're gonna headbutt them here.
I'm in.
Big behind us. We need to go.
On your jump.
Bottom elbow.
I can't find.
Good. Jump. Fuck the jump.
And top in.
He's doing the jump. Up.
Reset.
Gonna trade.
On the laser.
One shot.
Yeah, trade.
You straight.
Elbow again.
Camo 5. Camo
So
5.
guys, I'm disappearing.
Could play this camo if you want.
Guess on me.
That's fine.
Nice.
Marshall dice.
Guess as well.
Camo now.
Elbow. Last guy diagram.
Who's camo?
Where is
On it, or
Diagram.
probably, yeah.
There you go.
They're gonna be.
He's got scoreboard, one shot.
One shot in here with
Okay,
it.
diagram. I'm gonna play for team then.
I'm going at play.
Okay. Diagram coming. In A now, weak set to fight.
Rats.
2A.
Red one shot, red 2A, one shot.
Me and you, D.
Dead. Double red. Marshall dead.
One more, big.
Back A toss.
Okay, pushing.
They could spawn dummies and fly to him.
No, that's
He's pushing me.
Go.
Yeah. Roll back into him.
Nice one B.
I love that listen, and I love that play from WuTum right there. We were critical before, saying he didn't do the correct flank play at the start of this game. However, that last one was spectacular, executed perfectly behind enemy lines, gets the double kill, gets the 3rd player weak. The other thing I noticed during that listening was I loved the calming voice from Wonder Boy.
Loved it.
Very concise, usable information.
Reset.
Giving usable information, saying camo's up if you want to push for it. There's sometimes you'll hear coach in your call saying, Camo, we gotta go for that.
Yeah.
And you hear those sort of comms, and you feel like you have to panic and force it. But he's let his team know that camo's come up as an option if they feel they have the right position to go for it.
Love this play from WuTum as well. Relocates top middle. He's able to clean up the kill. A 5-kill lead for Foe. Able to stay alive with a quick flick of the repulse down to his feet. Lifts him up, and I love that flick from him for that.
So good.
That double kill in the garage, that flick was nasty. He's given his team the lead here. 11, 5, and 6 from the young gun so far. The push on the green is where his eyes are focused on a kill and some damage to be able to collapse with his team. 4 down for Cloud9.
Such big brain plays and positioning. Always one step ahead, knowing where potential spawns are, where the team is going to be, and ready to pounce on those opportunities. Look at WuTum. He's doing this dance right now. Doesn't know if they're going to push out towards the side just yet. Now he gets a little information. He knows he's going to be the #1 target. He's calling for backup, and he's hiding. Now that he has some eyes over from the nest, he knows he's safe. The garage push isn't coming. Now what he has to worry about is the push coming from the opposite side of the map? Is WuTum going to be left out to dry during this next fight? This happened at the beginning of the game. Is it going to happen again?
Such a difficult place for Cloud9 to try and play from right now. No kills to be given over. 8 kills separate the two, and WuTum smells blood in the water. He knows players are no shield, and here comes WuTum.
Just going for those kills, going for the trades. 10-kill lead here for Foe. I would argue that WuTum maybe came a little bit later than I would expect it or like there, but still Great timing window, realizing that Camel's coming up. There's not going to be more than one over in that garage, and he's either going to get a one-on-one, or he's going to be perfectly in time to get the flank and get the kills on Cloud9. Now Cloud9 down by 9 kills. What do they got to do here, Clutch?
The body shot from WuTum makes it such a difficult question to answer. WuTum is going to have so much presence on the map. Mouse and keyboard snipers are something to be feared, and Cloud9 had to find a way to get the snipe out of his hand. WuTum sees all of his teammates pushing forward, so he's going to try and lead tower. Notice the pressure from Bridge is a possibility. Diagram hits some perfect shots, but unfortunately, he hits the tab button. Everybody on his team has gone down. Now 45, 46 kills for Foe. They need 4 to go to find themselves for a top 8 placing.
Yeah, and I feel like you got to be in one of 2 camps here. Do you slow it down? Do you just try to drain out time and let Cloud9 make all these pushes, or do you stick with Old Faithful? Do you keep on pushing, keep on being aggressive, and force these next fights? And look at zMightys try and get behind enemy lines. I don't think Cloud9 is going to fully expect this. No. They feel like this game's going to slow down. zMightys get sniffed out by Sceptify. TchiK now trying the exact same flank. Is he going to be punished? It looks like he's behind enemy lines, but spotted out again by Diagram. 2 giving up kills there by Foe. Not dangerous yet, but you don't have many more of those to give.
Don't worry, WuTum's got you. 47th is acquired. He's back tower looking to make some pressure. Oh my, Rammyy with the no-scope to make this a 6-kill game now. Everybody on Cloud9 trying to play their lives perfectly. Rammyy relocating top tower, hits the quick scope to keep his teammate alive once again. No deaths can be given though, 48 to 42.
Full sniper in the hands of Rammyy. Camo coming up. I feel like Foe, they can't just forcefully try to go for this camo. Instead, here comes a nice pick from Rammyy. Now just a 5-kill game.
So
camo is going to be crucial here. If Foe get it, they can sneak behind enemy lines. They can pick off a random kill. However, if Cloud9 are able to get this, they're still in driver's seat. Here comes the push. Back flank from Mud. 2 kills picked up by Jimbo, and you hear Foe popping off. Rightfully so. Down 2-1 the series. WuTum showing off the keyboard to the crowd and saying, I'm better, I'm different, look at me.
The first ever mouse and keyboard player to place top 8 in the history of Halo. WuTum, your name will ring in the history books of Halo. Welcome to the main stage, and what a performance he just put on. 16, 9, and 6. From the iciest mouse and keyboard player we have in Halo. The young gun pulls it off, puts it on his back, lifts the keyboard up, and pushes Foe forward in the elimination bracket.
Played so incredibly well there. Foe just clutching up when they needed to. Game number 4, being down 0-2 on Solitude King of the Hill. Able to bring that one back. Here, Live Fire Slayer. They did so well. WuTum doing so many of those difficult decisions and dances, but in the end, pulling it out. Such a young gun. Can't wait to see where this kid goes. Love seeing all this new talent rise to the top.
Especially when they play on a different input. I mean, he was making plays throughout this series, but the most important plays here in this game 5 were made by WuTum. That push in the garage, I'm sure we're gonna see it here in a second, was absolutely
You gotta be more specific. There was 2 different pushes in garage, where he goes to garage, the other one he went towards tunnel afterwards. He's just doing it all.
The one where he snaps on right here. This snap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as Sims would say, and WuTum makes them feel the wrath of a mouse and keyboard player. That flick was nasty, and you cannot do that on controller, ladies and gentlemen. So he's showcasing exactly what kind of an opportunity he can put up here at the HCS. An unbelievable performance by all of Foe, especially when you consider the journey of what this series was. Game 1 was not close, and it had to have been something that you thought Foe was going to falter throughout this series. It was going to give Cloud9 some momentum. They answered the story in Game 2 with a 50-42 victory on Sweets. Game 3, not close at all. 250 to 18. Cloud9 come roaring back in another objective. You're wondering, can Foe ever compete in the objectives? But that King of the Hill, that was where the series was won and lost. Up 2-0, Cloud9 found themselves. And then all of a sudden, Foe came roaring back with those 3 straight points, giving them an opportunity that gave WuTum the opportunity to make history.
What an incredible series overall. And you know there's only one person we really talked to after that one. We got Blaze up on the stage with WuTum. Let's hear how he's doing and how he's feeling right now.